Hello there, welcome to A Tyke Farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling-ding-dong the bell. It's Thursday morning, 10 o'clock, we've got 3 men on site, pouring the walls down where the freezer's going to be, the fridge. As usual, I'll make 2 or 3 videos throughout the day. Yesterday's video I did, which will be uploaded this evening, was all about the Sari shop, and I think it's quite a good video, but you'll let me know, no doubt. It's a little bit different anyway. We did a full day of what happens in the Sari shop. Today I'm a bit undecided. I've started making a video with what they're doing construction wise, so that'll be the video no doubt after this. I think today I'll do all pigs, and we'll see how we go with that. So I'll get back to you shortly. As you can see, I'm in the piggery. That was the last pig to be served. That's had the best serving of the 3 of them. And the next to the last one was to be served was this one, and she got a good serve as well. This one, it was slightly served, I suppose you would say. Jean reckoned she was pregnant, but I had doubts. And she's coming back on 8, so she's not pregnant. The Boar man is coming down today, as far as I understand, and I don't know if the Boar will be down tonight or tomorrow. Depends how she reacts when you put weight on her back. That's the 3rd cycle. Now we tried to serve them, all 3 of them, on the 2nd cycle, and with very little success, no success. So as next 3 gilts, if we take 3 out of these, which we may do, we won't try and serve them until the 3rd cycle. Now we have had a little problem with spots. This one was the worst. That's why it's got blue stuff on, and it's healing up, virtually healed up, all healed up. It's got a few on its tail, which I put some blue stuff on this morning, and as you can see there, or maybe you can't, there's a couple of spots there. I'm surmising that they're mosquito bites, and then they back up to the veil and they rub all out of them because they're itching, which turns them into spots. We're aware of it, and we're looking after the problem. I've ordered some antibacterial cream for pigs, so I shall be putting the cream on the spots rather than the blue spray, which is for healing wounds. It'll have a disinfectant in it. Bit comical, spraying its tail this morning. You don't want to get its private parts covered in blue, especially if the boar comes down, so I used the float to cover that bit up and then sprayed. It worked. Now the growing pigs, they've been fed this morning. There's a bit of feed in the trough, but nothing to talk about. So when I come down here and I see an empty trough, I give them more, which I'll be doing now. And I give them extra feed this morning, early this morning. I'll give them extra feed now. I'll maybe give them extra feed this afternoon, or I'll certainly give them extra feed after 5 o'clock. The idea is to get as much feed into them as I can, without it being left going stale in the trough, to grow them as quick as we can. As you know, we've no pork in the shop at the minute, and we're maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks away before these are any near weight. If we start butchering underweight at 70 kilos, we get a carcass weight of 55 kilos. But if we butcher 100 kilos, we get a carcass weight of, say, 80 kilos. It's a big difference in the weight makes a big difference in the profit margin and the meat we have to sell. But at the minute we're chasing his tail with pork because we don't have enough pigs. Now with 10 more coming in Monday, we'll be picking them up next Monday. So them 10 will follow on these 10, these 7. Now depending what they like, they're from the same producer. Nearly all these are female. I think there's only 1 male, maybe 2. So we need 3 more gilts. But if I take them out of this pen, that'll only leave us 4 to butcher. So we'll run out of pork again. But if the new piglets coming in are a good size, I'll maybe take the gilts out of that one. Right, I had to stop filming there because the mixer just came back on. You couldn't hear anything. So, if I take 3 gilts out of here, we've got less pork to sell. But the new pigs coming in, if I like the look at them, I might take 1 gilt out of here and 2 out of there. We'll see how it goes. If we get all them 3 gilts pregnant, there's the end 2 are going to farrow more or less together. You can't say a certain date. Roughly 3 months, 3 days, and 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. So at least this one will be hopefully a week later if she's served tonight or tomorrow night. I don't want pigs farrowing all together because I've never done it before. 1's enough for the first run, but we could have 2 farrowing at the same time. Now, I made up some feed last night, the fermenting feed here, and this is a bucket I made last night. If you can see, there you go, it's starting to bubble. It needs a minimum of 24 hours in warm conditions, and we've got warm conditions here. But a little bit longer is probably ideal. And the same with this one here. Not bubbling quite as much, but it is bubbling. If you can see any bubbles. Oh, I'll tap the bottom. No. Sod's law, it's not, oh there we go, no, I missed it. It's not bubbling on when I want it to bubble. So that's not quite as far on as this barrel. But I'm sold on this fermented feed. It's anecdotal. I know there's no evidence I can set here, oh, this is doing this and that's doing that. But I'm sold on it. We've had no problems with pigs on this feed whatsoever. And we've had no problems like we've had in the past with disease. None of these pigs we've had through this shed this time have had any antibiotics at all. The other lot of pigs last year, I was pumping antibiotics into a good number of them. And it didn't have, it sort of quietened the diseases down, but it never cured them. Probably my inexperience with antibiotics, because I'm not a vet obviously, but I'd prefer not to use antibiotics. I've got some in stock, they have a shelf life, so whether they're any good or not, how old they are when I get them, because we are in the Philippines, I don't know. So I'm trying more natural things now. Apart from the fermented feed, the black bits in the top is charcoal, and the pigs readily eat the charcoal. This is a big lump, they'll pull it out the trough and they'll chew it in the pen. So charcoal is a go as well. And then the other big thing I'm doing is lime. Now I've used lime in the piggery at Kerrang. I'd had pigs in there and then there'd be 4 weeks gap before I got new pigs in. And that was for cleaning out the piggery, letting all the bugs settle down before the new batch came in. And I used to lime it out there. But I'm using lime all the time now. This is a new bag just come in. I can't source it locally. So a bag of lime like that is 1,000 pesos, £15, 30 Australian dollars. But the shipping on top is 1,300 pesos. So I'm paying more than twice the price I should be for lime. But as yet I've not been able to source any locally. The other thing in the feed I should have mentioned, I do add vitamins and I do add antibacterial to the feed in powdered form on a regular basis. So what we do with the lime, same as all the dirt, all the feed in front of that trough, we don't wash it out. We wash the stalls out and we wash the back end out, wash the muck into the channel. But I find that, because we've got a couple of leaking pipes, as you can see here, all the floor is wet, it dries out and it goes back to like this. So I'm not washing the aisleways out, the pens have to be washed out because there's muck in them. And what I do, same as the front of that top, I'll get a brush, a witch's broom they have here, and I'll sweep all that old full roof up off the edge of the top as well. And then I'll sweep down the edges of the aisleway, get the dirt out. Behind the bins, spilt food, you tend to get, as you can see there, dirt building up behind. The same behind these bins, you see the dirt there's built up. And then at the gates for the pens, there's muck pushed out the front of them. So once a week, sometimes twice, I'll sweep the edges of the aisle down, get all the muck out, and then I'll go back and I'll relime all the aisleway. Now these pigs are going to move because there's new pigs coming in Monday. The new piglets will go in this pen. So this will be swept out, as you can see there, there's dirt from the top. Sweep the edges out, this pen will be lined, so it'll be wetted down and then lime scattered on it. That'll get a good lime in for the new piglets coming in. And I'll move these piglets down to this end, which is limed out, but it'll be swept out, all washed out and limed again for them pigs coming in. So that's a little bit on housekeeping. Now, as I've said in previous videos, there's very little pressure from these hose pipes. I've got a very cheap pump up there, and I did look in City Hardware. The cheapest pump they had with a tank, a pressure tank, was 15,000 pesos. It's still a Chinese pump, not a very big pump. And if I'd have bought a bigger pump with a pressure tank and all the fittings, I can't remember what it was going to cost me. About 25,000, I think, possibly 30,000 pesos, which isn't a lot of money in Western money, but it's a lot of money here in the Philippines when there's pressures on the budget for things to carry on constructing. Today I'm ordering 30 bags of cement, 50 10mm Rio bar and 5 phenolic boards, which is going to cost about 20,000 pesos. Now I have to spend money on that to keep the workmen employed, so I can't really justify spending 25,000–30,000 on a pump. So what I'm going to do, I've ordered another pump like that, another cheap pump, 1,700 pesos, and I don't know what's wrong with that pump. I can't take it to bits to find out, because we need it. So when the new one comes, initially what I'll do, there's a filter, and it's like an oil filter, it's a canister filter. I can't find anything on Shopee to just buy a new filter to change it. I've had it off and I've flushed it out. There wasn't any real dirt in there, just dirty water. But the first thing I'll do when I get the new pump is take that canister off and put a brand new canister on and see what we get water pressure then. It may well be that canister filter is full up with muck and that's the problem, but I suspect it's not. So if it's not, what I'll do then is I'll take that pump off, I'll put the new pump on and it'll connect directly up to it on that little plinth we've made. That was the other thing about a new pump that from City Hardware, was it's too big to fit on that post where it's at now, so I would have had to alter all the plumbing, etc, and found a place to put it. So I'll swap that pump and put the new one on. Then this pump, I'll take the impeller housing off. If it's not the canister blocked, you can guarantee more or less the impeller's warm. And I should be able to replace the impeller, get a new impeller. There's plenty of impellers on Shopee, but there's a myriad of different sizes, etc. So if I replace the impeller, then that pump should work again, and that'll go to spare. So if we get the same problem in the future, but after 12 months, which we will, because of cheap pumps, I can just swap them over and get another impeller. But if I took the impeller housing off now, to get the size of impeller, then that pump wouldn't be working for a few days, and we'd be bucketing water, so I don't want to do that. Even though it's low pressure, at least we've got water of some description. So I'll get the brush and I'll get this sorted out, and we'll get back to you later. So that's it swept out and relined. It looks much cleaner. The bulk of the dirt's out. We'd get it all out if we washed the floor, of course, but I don't want to wash all the lime out. So that's why I sweep it, get the thick of it out and then re-lime it. Now this side, because it's wet, there's lime being put down, as you can see. It doesn't look any better, but that will dry out this afternoon and it will look like this side. So yeah, I'll leave this video there. I've got a drum of feed to make up next. I'll go and have a cup of tea first and I'll show you how we make up the feed. So I'm making up a new batch of feed. You can see we've maybe just over a third full of pellets. If you remember from the last clip, in the bottom of that bucket there was the residue from the bin before. So that residue is still in there, we leave it in. That acts as the starter for this fermentation. So we've got the pellets in. What I do now, not every bin, but every third bin, say. Now the camera's going to be all over the place because I'm using two hands. So every third bin, Fermented powder, which is antibacterial. So then a 5 gram packet, 5 gram of antibacterial gone in, and then we've got a 20 gram packet, a 20 gram packet of vitamin powder. So we will fill that up with water to this level, and then overnight it will start to ferment. If you overfill the bin, if you put too many pellets in, then as the grains swell, it will force the lid off and it will push all the water out the top of the bin. Now, I know that was a bit noisy and the camera is all over the place because I was cutting open the sachets, but it gives you an idea of what we do. Now, because it's so warm here in the Philippines, you will get bubbles coming out of that water. by tomorrow morning. It takes about 24 hours to ferment here. And then you've got that, you don't have to panic about feeding that feed. It'll last a week or a fortnight. Once it's fermented, it doesn't go off. So I'll leave this video there. There'll probably be a clip doing this other one. The Boar man's supposed to be coming down. He's at work. He doesn't finish till 5 o'clock. So we won't know until he arrives. And then possibly after he's had a look at the pig, he'll be bringing the boar down. So we'll wait and see. So it's 5:30. No news as yet on whether the boar's coming down. So it might do. If it does, I'll make a clip. If it doesn't, I'll finalise this video tomorrow, maybe tomorrow evening before it uploads, when the boar does come down. But meanwhile, I'm just down here and I'll top up the pigs with feed. This is a barrel we made up earlier on. I'll top it up with more water. And that one should be bubbling by morning. So I'll leave this video there and we'll see what happens later on. Above the noise of the gills. So the boar's coming down tonight. So we'll let this pig out. Just leave her. No, don't push her. Put some weight on the back, she'll back up.
Terus
Yeah, just prepare some.
Dali na. Uy, karon tama-tama ka, sige ka ng pagawas, wala.
Duro, taon.
Dali na. Dik. Dali na. Dali na.
Who's the feed, Jim?
Dik. David.
Masama ka sa gahi, ako sini doon. Hindi rin na sa magawa sa kanya na.
Oh.
Dali na. Rabot lagi. Kaya sagiran namin lang. Magawas na siya. Gawas na. Ang binabiyang.
Abi ada.
Abi.
Just come out the way and leave her alone and open the gate, Jane. Open that gate. Just leave her alone. Try putting a bit of feed on the floor, just put it back on. Put a bit on the floor. Right? Go back a bit further. Go back a bit further. Put some feed on the floor. Go put some feed on the floor.
Huh?
Put some feed on the floor. Better go that way. Better go that way if you want. Away. Go on. Away. Come bolting in.
Ini nakasunod to? Ano yung tangkang guys?
So that'll do us. We're ready to go.
So the boar just arrived. Nag-jogging na sa di siya.
You film.
Na yun.
Take two.
Take two.
See how we go this time. She's up. She's much more receptive this time, making a bit of noise, but she's standing for him. So it's all good. You go to the back of the cage. She stood for him about 7 minutes, so she's had a good serve. So that concludes this video, and we'll get it uploaded tonight.